I'm Matt Lighty, and today we're talking about Warbands. So Warbands, elemental themed unique packs of monsters. Out the gate, they're already lying. So okay, now elemental themed, that's not true, technically. Unique packs of monsters, that is true. What I mean by elemental is that there are chaos. There are 4 different Warbands types. Fire, Cold, Lightning, Chaos, respectively Red Blade, Mutwind, Brian Rot, Renegades. You don't see Renegades very often, the Chaos ones. They're about 5 times rarer than the others. And essentially what Warbands is it's packs of mobs that are thematic, It'll be like 4 to 6 groups of monsters. Sometimes they'll have a boss with them or a Warbands leader. And one of the mobs might do cursing, one of the mobs might do trapping. It's kind of influencing some sort of injection of PvP into the PvE world that is Path of Exile. It kind of gives the feel of PvP. You're fighting against other player-like mobs. They're kind of coordinated, they're kind of synergistic, but again, not really. So we don't really care what they do. They're pretty easy to kill, especially when you do them on low-level maps or even mid-tier maps, like the ones we're running, which is our Strands, Gorges, Plateaus. Super decently leveled. 73 plus is all that matters, and we'll explain that later. And we want to have them very, very linear maps. So it's easy to run, fast run. You would be running maps fast as possible. 5-minute maps tops. And more longer than 5 minutes, you're doing something wrong. So what the fuck are we doing Warbands for? Well, that's really the question. Let's take a look at Warbands League. Now this is the Warbands League, and there's 2 different drops that we're going to be getting. There's the unique drops, and there's the Warband implicit, the Warband affix drops. Now, each of the elemental ones, the fire, lightning, cold, have a shield, have a boot, have a ring. And so does the Chaos, but those aren't named the same. See how Brian Rot, Mutwind, but the Chaos ones, for some reason, they have their own specific names. The shield's Broken Faith, the ring's Pry, and the boots are Step and Aaron. So, you got shield, ring, boot. Shield, all trash, all worthless pretty much, except for the Chaos one because of how rare the Chaos one is. It just has somewhat of a value to it. Now, keep in mind that, unlike most leagues, these only drop from the mobs you kill. So, for example, you turn on Nemesis, anything in the map can drop Nemesis exclusive things. Anything could drop a Headhunter, you can get a Headhunter from a chest if you turn Nemesis on. You turn Warbands on, you only get shit from the Warbands people. You have to kill the Warbands mobs themselves to get the loot. So, because of that, you want to increase the amount of loot that they drop, or the rarity of the loot they drop. So if you're just farming Warbands for the uniques, you want to stack rarity. You want to stack item rarity, okay? And you could even, again, just have it fleeting like a Divination Distillate Flask or on a 4-link culling setup with item rarity, item quantity. If that's all you want to go for. Alternatively, you could stack item quantity if you want to get the affixes. Now we'll talk about that in a second. So these are the uniques. A lot of them are cool. Rings are kind of useless. Some of them drop on specific things. So the rings are only dropping off the highest guys in the group, the bosses. Boots are off the medium tier guys, and the shields off the smaller ones. And then, of course, the bosses can drop all 3. Medium guys can drop the boots down. Yada, yada, yada. Now, some of them are really cool. Some of them are really expensive. Some of them are really rare. And some of those things don't match. Now, Step and Nerds are the boots from Chaos Warbands. They're extremely rare because they're uniques from the Chaos. So, even in Standard, they're still 20 Exalted. Are they particularly good? Well, no. They're kind of hyper niche and stupid, but they're cool. Purple boots, they do a lot of weird shit. A lot of exclusive shit to these boots. Same thing with the Prior Ring. But then there's some that are more valuable and more applicable to actual builds in the game, like Mutant Whisper Steps, unaffected by chill. They have movement speed, cold res, crit chance, and added damage. These are really exclusive mods to boots, really exclusive things, and they're useful. Similar to Brian Rot Whalers, they have physical damage, movement speed, lightning res, proj damage, unaffected by shock. Shock ground is probably the most important one to be unaffected by, because you're shocked or take double damage. And the rings are kind of based off of golems, and it's a super janky system. The pendants are based off of war cries. Nothing really makes sense. So let's go back to the affix part, okay? So, Warbands mods. Now, this is a bit complicated, so I'm going to break it down in a couple tiers here. So, step 1 to try to find Warband affix or Warband mod items is get a loot filter that will show different colors based off of different slots, based off of different enemies you're fighting. That's a lot, and that sounds stupid, I know. What that means is, and I'll show this on screen as I'm talking right now, magic of editing. Just want to take a second here and show an example of my loot filter, at least the part that matters for Warbands. Alright, we're going down, 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 all the way to the fucking bottom. And it is, here we go. Okay, so this is all you need. Just in your loot filters is all I need to have Warbands effectively tracking on. And all this will do is we'll hide rare magic helms, gloves, boots, staves, wands, daggers, scepters. If you want, you can add bows to this section here. If you want to, ID blue bows for Chaos Warbands, it's up to you. Or anything else you'd like to ID for Chaos Warbands. In my opinion, I think the only thing that matters are staves, wands, daggers, and scepters because they're cast weapons. So we just have it, weapons are shown purple, boots are shown blue, gloves yellow, and helm red. Basic RGBIV system over here. And yeah, this is all that matters as far as this just means when you push Alt, it will show hidden things which will be all marked in the respective colors. So when you kill a red blade, you kill a brine rot, a renegade, you look for the colors of the things that represent. Again, purple for weapons, boots are blue, gloves are yellow for lightning, and red for fire for helms. This is a great way and a useful fucking tool when it comes to Warbands identifying magic items to get those Warbands mods. So say I kill a brine rot pack, which are the lightning ones. I want to ID gloves because that's where they have their affixes, okay? This means that I want to have all the gloves highlighted yellow, so when I kill a pack, I can easily find them. Now, the gloves for brine rot, when you ID the magic items, just like when you ID any Warbands mod, the affixes have a chance to be seen only on identification. So it's kind of like how Elrion jewelry, once you buy the piece, the ring, or the amulet that has the Elrion mod, you cannot alteration back into the mod. That is the only time you could see it, is from purchasing. Similar to the only time you could see these mods, Brine Rot, Mute Wind, Red Blade, or Renegade mod, is from IDing the specific item that you need to look for. Okay? So that means once you take your unID'd blue item, so I killed a Brine Rot pack, I take my unID'd glove, I ID it, it does or does not have the Brine Rot mod. If it doesn't, it's trash. If it does, cool, you found one. These are grossly rare. I mean grossly rare. Often people played all of Warbands leagues and didn't see one. That's how rare they are. So, there's a couple factors that affect how good these are, even after you've found one. Okay, so let's break that down even further. Say you found the Brine Rot, which is the flask 30% rarity on flask effect. These are the least expensive of all the four. Why? Because you have gloves like Orsi's. That's why they're relatively worthless. Still probably a couple exalted. Give you some scale. And then there's stuff like Can't Be Frozen on boots. Extremely powerful mod, especially for builds that are prone to being froze, like Chaos Inoculation or CI builds that have one life and tons of ES. They're prone to being frozen. CI boots are great. What that means is these boots are tailored towards ES builds. So what that now means is you need to find these on an ES base item. So if I had a sorcerer boot, and I found this mod, oh my god, I've got something here. But hold on, I've got the right mod, okay? I've got the right base now, which the third part of the equation is the right item level. Alright, now what that means is you have to have them certain item levels for certain tiers. So let's go back to Mutewind, alright? We're looking for Cannot Be Frozen on boots, and we want to have it on an ES boot. So we'll say Sorcerer Boots, okay? What's the roll to get T1 flat ES? 43. Easy, you're going to hit 43. The next tier, you got 84 for T1, 72 for T2. The difference isn't that major, let's be honest. So, what we're looking for is, alright, cool, 72 is manageable. I can farm 72 plus maps, like Strand, like Gorge, like Plateau. Easily cleared, easily doable linear maps. Alright, hybrid roll is 78. Well, maybe we could push to 78, Plateau 78. Alright, cool. So say we're doing plateau. We now find a sorcerer boot at 78. That means, and to keep in mind, these are all prefixes. That means we now have, let's say hypothetically, an eye level 78 Mutewind modded sorcerer boot. Bam, we have the jackpot. We've hit the first stage is done. What can we do? Well, we can sell it for 15 Exalted if you want to, or we could augment it to attempt to, limit the pool of shit we're going to hit. Then Regal, and basically you just pray to God. You hit an ES roll, or a flat ES roll, or T1 movement speed, something useful. And then now you have some great item you could craft. You could use some form of Master Meta crafting to get other T1s. But that's pretty much where you have to start. Now let's go to the next one, which is Red Blade. This is the most desirable of all of them. 10% physical damage taken. It's 5 damage on helmet. So again, what you do with your filter is you'll maybe mark all helmets with a red outline. You can easily find them. You kill a Red Blade plaque, you check for helmets, boom. You want to have it in a good base. The base doesn't matter as much because Fizz builds using this. And yeah, you'd like to have high armor, high evasion helmets. Not as important. And then pretty much what you want to do for these, and actually, it's actually a lot easier to craft Red Blade helmet than it is a Mutewood boot, because you can, as you can see here, let's just go here, boom, 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 you can mastercraft 64 life. So it's not that much farther down than, like, obviously you'd like to get T1 life, that'd be great, but you could craft 64. So for these, you aug, or I wouldn't even aug for these, I might just strictly Regal, because you can mastercraft so many good things. So say if you found one, you Regal one, cool, you hit a res roll, you hit a good res roll, something nice, like, whatever, 42 plus, again, 72, a good benchmark for doing these is 73 plus. Mastercraft it, multi-mod it, boom, you got a dope item. Let's walk on to the last one, which is Renegades, is they have fire, cold, lightning pen on weapons. Basically, you want to have all your scepters, your wands, your daggers, your staves. You want to have all those to show with the purple outline, because when you kill Warbands, the Chaos Renegades, boom, purple ID weapons, none of them have it. Great, move on. Alright, so that is how, at least that tells you what we're looking for. This is what we're looking for, is Warbands mods and all the dope uniques. Now, the uniques will just kind of come more commonly, so it's better to kind of bank your map rolls and try to work your shit towards getting the Warbands mod, because they're a lot harder to achieve. Now, I got a little spreadsheet here of just what I've been doing, pretty much. This is really basic shit, just some of the maps I'm running. And how many things I'm finding. I just been doing a lot, like, minimal information, just writing on the quantity, the rarity. I couldn't really get because it was changing based off what gear I'm using, what character I was playing, but the quantity stayed the same. Now, quantity is what affects the amount of shit that drops. So that's the only thing that's going to affect how many blues you're getting, which means more chance to ID stuff. Now, I've done, that here is 18 runs. We're going to do one demo run in a second here. And we want to have as high as quantity as possible. The Warbands mod itself gives 16% quantity. You want to roll the maps high quantity. Do things like putting sacrifice fragments, mortal fragments on. These are great. Of course, you can also use quantity gear like Gold Whims, IQ Gem, Prandis, Wind Ripper, shit like this. And you'll get 2 packs each. So I've just been documenting, and I'll keep this list up, and I'll post this list in the link so you can see yourself to get some sort of thing. And it's been actually pretty across the board even, to be honest. This is the plateau. I rolled high quantity, or decent amount of quantity. Pack size doesn't matter. As far as actually what we're finding, your pack size will not influence the amount of Warbands members you're fighting. It's always going to be 4 to 6. Often I find that if there is a boss, it's always 6, what it seems like. I'm going to toss a couple sack frags here, and we got our 12 chaos or payment. So, let us come over, put our shit in, scroll down to Warbands, bada bing, bada boom, and we're off. Alright, so I just wanted to mention this, I didn't mention earlier, but you do need, so the cost to do this, like I said, is 12 chaos, but I didn't mention you need a Zana level 7, so it's not really accessible early on in a league. Let's look at our IQ. We have 110 IQ, that's not including then 37 rarity. So that number was the 87 plus the 10 from the frags plus the 16. So that's what our item quantity is. So now we're going to go through here and look for our, where would our Chaos Warbands be, find them, kill them, move on. Now a good reason to do plateau is you get pretty decent experience. I'm level 95 in this guy, but it's actually still okay experience, a couple % per run. And again, it's really easy to clear, you really can't miss anything. You only get 2 per run, 2 packs, which means for packs it's good to note that Chaos Warbands don't have like underlings, they're only bosses. So if you find Chaos Warbands, it's going to be just boss on boss on boss. And I love Warbands for 2 reasons. It's a minimal cost. 12 chaos isn't a lot, to be honest. because a lot of loot you get will really pay for a ton of runs down the road. It's adding quantity, which is nice. All right, here we go. You can tell that there's Chaos Warbands here because you start seeing auras. This is a marker that most Chaos Warbands, something that pack is giving off some sort of aura. So that's why I can tell that, all right, something in this pack is giving off an aura. Toss a trap down, it really helps to clear it. And we got Brine Rods. So these are the lightning ones. So let's take care of these. So that was 6 in total. And once this last one's down, there's the boss, Lucy. So the bosses have given names, like that one says Lucy Rotmothers, and bam, Brine Rot Whalers. Alright. Super fucking good drop. One of the second or third best drops you can have on the list. And bada bing, bada boom. So now, we killed it. You can kind of see where shit's dead. My loot filter is filtering this type of stuff out. And mine personally has a Warbands filter, and I'll show that in a second. You can see their bodies are here, 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 here. So you push Alt to show stuff hidden. Alright, now cool, we have Alt up. You can see certain things have certain colors around them. Purple is for Renegades, blue is for Mute-Wind, red is for Red Blades, and the yellow is for the Brine Rots. Now we just killed a Brine Rot, so we want to pick up everything yellow in the vicinity. Glove over here. We got 4 over here, 2, 3, 4. I'm just going to push Z again to make sure I didn't miss anything. Pretty good. Now keep in mind, stuff like Hubris, Circlet, Ivan, my thing will override the helm. So if I just killed red bands, this won't show red because it's more important that I get it regardless. So I have to do it. Now raiders don't work again. This only works for the actual warbands themselves. So it has to be magic items, has to be from the warbands. Raiders don't matter shit. So you decide I do these things. Nope, didn't have it, didn't have it. Didn't have it, didn't have it, doesn't have it. None of them have the right mod. They don't say Mute-Wind. Toss them all back. You want to look at the boot. Brine Rot Whalers, there we go. Pretty good roll. Perfect proj damage roll. I mean, what more do you want? Great boot. Mission success, really. Let's clear. We have one more pack out there. Let's go find it. So the one I'm personally looking for is I would like to get a Red Blade. Now, Red Blade helms, I have one. I have... we got double lightning. And we do not have a named mob, which means there is no boss. There's a pack of 5, no boss to be found. That's okay, we already found one boss in the first one. That's just he's a medium tier guy. Which means he can drop boots, but he can't drop a ring. But yet again, the boots are in almost every scenario more expensive, so that's not the end of the world. And it look like they're all dead. So let's just clean up the surrounding bullshit. We'll take a look at what gloves we got going on here. Maparoo, alright. So, we have any gloves in the vicinity. 1 pair? That might be it. Yep, just 1 pair of gloves. Sometimes you don't get a lot. It happens. You know, so that's pretty much the entire run as far as what warbands have to alternate one. Let's ID this and did not get it. But that's essentially it. I'm not going to full clear this map, and I'm going to do another one. And these runs take me 4 to 5 minutes each. You can get dope gear like Brine Rot Whalers. I think it's a pretty nice little thing to do in downtime. I wouldn't really suggest it for leagues as it can be kind of sketchy, and the market for stuff like Warbands items aren't really build enabling. So I don't think that they're really going to be a really easy sell. Like lots of league exclusives such as Headhunter, Vol's Devotion, Shaman's Revelation, these are great. You can kind of toss these in the builds, and those are really like make or break a build. These not so much. These are great for some cool things like lots of bow builds would love Brine Rot Whalers. None of them really need it, and it's not really a priority for them to be running Warbands maps to find them. That's why in permanent leagues these things go for a lot more. That's why this activity is a lot better in standard. That's why I'm doing it in standard. But that about wraps it up for what Warbands busting is, if you want to call it that, Warbands farming. This is at least what I do, my method to do it. And there's things you could do, like I said, like using item quantity gem, you know, gold room boots, wind ripper, things that give you IQ, IR to up the quantity to get more blues, to have a chance to find more affix mobs. Of course, you can stack rarity, have a higher chance at getting Warband uniques like Brine Rot Whalers. And, you know, it's fun. You get to kill boss shit. It's like PvP, PvE, you're killing cool stuff. That's about it. I'm Matt Lighty. Any questions, comments, concerns, ask them in the comments. That sounds dumb. Anyway, I'll see you guys later. And not much stream will be happening the next couple days. I fucked my finger up, got bitten by a dog, and I can't really type. Hilarious. I will see you guys later. Bye.